So in this video I'm going to share a recipe that I got from an ex-boyfriend. It's a really quick recipe. It's a good recipe to have on nights when you just don't know what you're going to make. It's usually stuff that you already have in the house. So I've got some ground beef browning here. This is 1 pound of ground beef. And you can use steak and cube it or slice it. I like to do the ground beef just because I'm really picky as far as the beef goes. If I find any sort of, gristle or fat or anything on it, I gross out. So I just prefer the ground beef so I don't taste it. And I also have some pasta here that's, get a little spoon here. It's just regular egg noodle pasta. I got some spirals cooking. I put a little olive oil in there just so that the pasta doesn't stick, and I literally just put that in. So as soon as the water started to boil, I popped it in, probably about 30 seconds before I started the tape. And the ground beef, same thing, I just covered it. So I want to show you guys about how quick this is. It is 5:05 right now. And I'm going to add a little bit of dried chopped onion. And I'm going to add a little garlic powder. And it's already smelling really good. And I'm going to add some sea salt and some pepper too. And mix that in there. And then you want to use a really large skillet with this. I mean, you don't have to, but the way I like to do it is I like to brown the meat, and then when it's about a medium rare, I like to start the sauce. And after it's all done, I actually add the noodles into it and just make like one casserole kind of a dish. Some people like to pour the sauce on their noodles, so it just depends what you want to do. I'm going to go ahead and pause this. So I went to go get a couple more ingredients. You're going to need about 2 cans of regular size cream of mushroom, and this is just plain Rayleigh's brand cream of mushroom. You can go ahead and pour it, excuse me, right in there. I personally don't like the mushroom chunks, so I like to pop it in the blender. As you can tell, I'm pretty picky with my food, but I'm just going to throw these in the blender, and I'm going to add a little bit of milk just so that it blends nicely. It looks really gross when it comes out of the can. It also kind of depends the kind that you get. But you're also going to need some milk and some sour cream. The time is 5:10 right now, so you can kind of get a feel for how much time has passed. I'm going to go ahead and turn the blender on here. We'll turn off the camera just so that, just so that you're not deafened by the blender, and so that I could do this with more than just my left hand. But anyways, I will, so I'm finished blending, and as you can see, the chunks are pretty little, and there's my finger, you can see them in comparison. It depends the brand too. Some of the brands of cream of mushroom have smaller chunks in them, and if that's the case, then I won't do anything to them. But I've used this one before, and it's pretty big. The other thing that you're going to need to do is you're going to need to add some sour cream to this just to give it a little bit of a bite. And as far as how much sour cream you're going to use, it depends on how much milk you used. I used quite a bit of milk. You can see that this is kind of runny. And so I'm going to throw in maybe a little bit less sour cream than what I would have. I'm going to turn my heat back up to medium to let this simmer. I'm probably going to put in about maybe 2, maybe 3 tablespoons of sour cream, and then I'm going to let that simmer for a little bit to finish cooking the rest of the meat and to flavor our sauce a little bit with the beef. And we should be ready here in a few minutes. Again, the time is 5:11, so you can see I've only been doing this about 6 minutes. Everything is moving along pretty quickly. I mean, even the pasta is about halfway there. And usually the pasta is the thing that takes the longest, so that can kind of gauge you on the time. I've made this in about 15 minutes total, just depending, you know, when you boil the pasta. So it's a really quick dish to do, and it's really easy, and there's very little cleanup. Okay, so I'll come back. So the time is 5:19. As you can see, my pasta is done. It's just right. I don't really like it too al dente, but it's just right for me. This has been simmering. I'm going to take this off of the heat, but it will thicken a little bit as it sits, as most cream pastas do, or cream sauces, I should say. But this is all ready to serve, so I'm actually going to serve it with the sauce just placed on top of it. But it took, as you can see, 15 minutes, and it's done, and cleanup was a breeze. I had pretty much just the spices that I used. I used a whole bag of pasta, so I just threw the bag away, and the whole thing of beef, I just threw that away in the cans too. So, so yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and serve myself up a plate here, but you can either choose at this point to mix the salsa, or the pasta into the sauce, or just pour it on top, which is how I'm going to do it. If I'm just making it for myself, I usually just mix them, but I have some people in the house who like it on top, so that's what we're leaving it at. But we're all set, and it looks like I'm running out of battery here. Thank you for watching. I hope this works out for you. Remember, make it on a night that you're not entirely sure what to make. And there's your Americanized version of beef stroganoff. Enjoy.